G'day, it's Lindsay Waddington, and today we're here to talk with a great mate of mine about a wonderful song and a great new album out. Dean Perrett, how you going?
What? I'm going well.
It's good to see you, mate.
Going really well. You too.
Mate, we're going to talk about this first, but your nomination this year, Slim's Guitar, a special song.
It is, it really is, and it was born 12 months ago down at the Hats Off the Country Festival there at Tamworth, and took a photo of a special guitar under the stage of the town hall there, and went home and wrote the song,
Yeah.
As you know, so I'll just tell the story about it, but myself and Glenn Jones, Jeff Brown, Diane Lindsay and Anne Kirkpatrick and a few more of us were doing a bush ballad concert in the town hall, and down under the stage where the artist room is, I remember walking past Anne Kirkpatrick's guitar case, which she had open, and I remember glancing in the case as I went past, and here was this beautiful old Martin D35, and it would have been a late 60s make, I guess. I sort of recognised it. I do believe that it was Slim Dusty's first Martin D35.
Oh, wow.
A lot like this. Slim was always into the D28s and the D35s all through that era, and I think he did pass this one on to Anne, and but I was looking at all the wear on the face of the guitar and just thought how cool it looked, and up above the bass E string here, big warm patch there, and that's it from thumb pick playing. And anyway, so I snapped a photo of it because, as you know, I'm a guitar tragic myself too, and so that's why I took the real interest in it. And I thought, gee, how many stories that old guitar could tell and the places it had been. And I went home and I sat down and I wrote the song from the point of view of the old guitar, reliving those memories and moments coming from its soul. And I remember when I sent you the song, I said, hey mate, have a listen to this, and gee, you come out with some cracker lines for it too. And so I'm pretty excited we got to write that one together, It
was a special invite, mate. I felt very blessed to be asked to even have a part in that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for your contribution. And and I remember as a child, I'd pull out all the old Slim Dusty LPs, and on the cover on a lot of those albums, you'd see, it was either the D28 or the D35 on the covers where he was holding a guitar. And I can remember that's what started my interest as a teenager in Martin guitars, because Slim played one.
Yeah.
And then later on, you woke up to the fact as you looked around things that Johnny Cash played one and George Jones played one, and so it goes. I thought, oh well, all these country singers seem to like these old Martins.
Yeah.
So there's a special connection to the song all round, really. Yeah.
Now this, we're going to skip across the ocean a bit, and this is actually a Martin from another legend from overseas, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, this old D28 was built in 1950. When I was over there this year, I was yarning with my good friend Stewie French too, and Stewie said, I think Jimmy Fortune's got one that he's thinking about selling on. So I was really blessed to be able to pick this guitar up from Jimmy, but yeah, just these great old Brazilian rosewood Martins. It's just the depth in them, and it is so.
It's amazing. You've got two legends worlds apart.
Yeah, that's it.
Both playing the same sort of thing.
But like I said, Slim was just that real influence with his Martins, and of course he played Matins in his later years, and the Martins were always special to me from what I saw on those record covers,
He become one of the most successful Australian balladeers, bush balladeers, and it's a proud moment, mate, to see where your music's got to. 6 golden guitars.
I felt very blessed to pick up the first one, of course, and I remember when I was a kid, and you'd be listening to 2TM and the broadcast of the Golden Guitar Awards.
Yep.
From home on Bowen Fells when I was a kid, and you'd hear people like Slim or John Williamson and a host of artists whose music you admired get up receiving their gold guitars, and you'd think, oh geez, it'd be good to do that one day, but I don't think I ever will. But so it's good to see 6 on the mantelpiece.
Bloody proud of you, mate. Well, speaking of that, let's get into your album quickly too. And Dino's got this great album out, which we're proud to have had something to do with, and it's I love the artwork of it, mate. We'll get to that. Who did your artwork?
Glenn Perkis actually did the artwork, and John Elliott took photos, and Christy Lee and my wife Camille.
Yeah.
And Glenn Perkis waved his magic pen over there, and he sort of did it up with a bit of a caricature thing, and
I love
it's
it.
come out beautifully, yeah.
Riding high beneath the sky out there on Killarney, sunburnt ringers living out the dream.
And but speaking of golden guitars, track 1 on it, out on Killarney, golden guitar winning track.
Sure was, yeah. It's great, It's out on Killarney was one that I wrote about Killarney Station in the Northern Territory, and the pastoral company that own it, Jumbuck Pastoral. Well, it's a big breeder property, very renowned breeder property, but it's also a good training ground for all young people coming into the pastoral industry for that pastoral company. And that's really what made me sit down and write the song, was the contribution it makes to people's learning. That's what that song's all about, yeah.
And you've said it's been a great thing too, like it's a song that's crossed over where the young ones are out there doing work, playing it through the big speakers and loving it.
Yeah, that's right. We got a friend of ours there. Their young fella went up and he was working in the Northern Territory there, and it was good. And they say, they sit on the round yard while they're drafting. They got a boom box up on the top, and just good to know that people are appreciating, especially younger people, are appreciating songs about a lifestyle that they're actually living.
Yeah, that's great.
Got a pen in my pocket and ideas galore, for I am a Bush Troubadour.
We got track 2, Bush Troubadour.
Bush Troubadour, which Pete Dennehy and myself put together, and it's just, I guess, a tip of the hat to the great old travelling showman that started, this great heritage of country music in Australia, and encouraged, people like yourself and myself to get out there and play our music and take it to people.
So it's a great song, and working with Pete Dennehy, he's known for a lot of comedy too. Like he's a bit of a joker, but this is as serious as you get. It's a great song.
It is. Pete's a great songwriter. His songwriting, we've written a couple of things together over the years, and he's written a few for me. And it was really good to have his take on it.
Rolling across Australia in that old purple car, the bush was all around us, for I was Slim's guitar.
It is, mate. And then we've talked about track 3, Slim's guitar. So we've talked about that one. It's just a great song, and I must admit, personally, it was really lovely to talk to Anne and David at the Back to the Bush concert, and they both come up at different times and said, great job, right through from the songwriting to the performance to the production. And they said the family were really happy with it, and I thought, wow, that's incredible.
Well, it is, yeah. Thanks, Anne and David.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is like it was written from the heart, from the soul of the guitar. It's strange. It's like I say about the guitar. The old saying, "Slim Dusty, the man who is Australia." His big solid thumb pick playing, and the songs he came out through the soul of that guitar as well.
Oh yeah,
it was as much an expression as Slim's vocal.
Remember a couple of times where Slim had a broken arm, collarbone or something. He did a couple of songs, wasn't the same, was it? When he played a sing, he had a couple of other great players there, but it was just something that happened with him.
It was the magic, It's like all the musicians that worked with him over the years. I can remember Ian Simpson saying that Slim was just like a metronome. Solid.
The wheels will keep a-rolling through fire, flood and drought. We're heading into road train country, that country further out. Track
4, Road Train Country. Now that's a bit of a groovy little track, that one.
It is, yeah. No, it gets along nicely. And so Angus Gill, Alan Mackey, Kelly Dixon, and myself wrote that particular song.
Oh.
And so just all about a road train. That's a song for all those road train operators that run from southeast Queensland back up through to the Territory,
Yeah.
And anywhere else in Australia, but it just mentions some of those towns up through Queensland and up to the Three Ways and further up,
Grand Grandfather Johnson was an old black man from a real proud race of men.
We're talking Dean Perrett's new album, Bush Troubadour, and we're up to track 5, Grandfather Johnson.
Oh, the classic writing from Joy McKeon.
Yeah.
You know, when I was looking for a cover song to have on this album, I thought, wow, I'd love to do a version of that great song. And I think that was the thing about Joy's writing. You know, we know things about things like Lights on the Hill and Indian Pacific and so many great songs. But to me, Joy always wrote best about people and the human spirit. Of course, this was a true story because they knew the family that Grandfather Johnson lived with and old grandfather, you know. And it's such an interesting story because of the character of this old Aboriginal man that made boomerangs, had that talent, and then when all the tourists would come around, you know, he'd dress up, he'd get out of his good clothes and he'd put on, as the song says, his old working clothes and play the part and sell the tourists the boomerangs, teach them to throw them. And, you know, and then as it says, and when they were gone, he'd put back on his suit and, you know, go and buy a new gold ring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I tell you what else was special too, like in the tracking and the recording of it, to feature a few of the good old Travelling Country Band members.
Yeah, it was great.
Like Laurie and Dougie and, you know, Shelley and people at
all those fellows, you know.
How good was it though to revisit history that way too?
Well, it does. It brings the genuine spirit to it all, you know.
Yeah.
And I think when you're recording great old songs like that, any connection that you can have that adds that great plain spirit and people that understand those songs, you know. Yeah. It's a great thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
But you can never go back. Life's just not like that. Things are not the same on the land.
We're up to track 6, Things Are Not the Same on the Land.
Yeah, the great song written by Bill Chambers that Slim had originally recorded. I had the pleasure of having my sister Carrie Perrett on this one.
Yeah.
With us, so it was great to have Carrie in, and Carrie's just sort of virtually started singing again in the last couple of years, coming back. Her children are growing, and she's able to now step out and give that a go again herself. And it's just great to get her in singing with me in the studio.
Yeah. We're talking Dean Perrett's new album, Bush Troubadour, and we're already I know it's great to stream them and download them, but there is still something about buying physical copies, like the artwork. You've got all these mentioned, all the musicians, songwriters. There's so much, and this is why you should buy hard copies and support the artist, because it's the whole package.
He's getting on with the small stuff, reaping what he's sown. He'll say around here I'm a nobody, but I'm famous at home.
All right, we've got another original on here, mate. Number 7, Famous at Home.
Yes, had the pleasure of writing this one with Colin Buchanan, and it was actually modelled off Owen Berlin from the Mergen district of southeast Queensland there, close to where I live. And Owen had a bit of an influence on my life. He was one of those people that he always absolutely did his best, but he did it for his family, he did it in his community, the way he worked his farm, the way he contributed to the community as a whole. But he never got to venture from out of his local district.
Yeah.
And he was just a really good influence on his community. And the interesting story is here that when Owen passed and I went along to his memorial and his granddaughter got up to speak, she said, Pop always said that he might never have been what you would regard as famous in life or done too much, but he knew he'd worked hard all his life. He knew his family loved him, and that's why he always said that he felt that he was famous at home.
Oh, wow.
And when I heard her say that line, that he was famous at home, I thought, what a great subject for a song. And I guess we all know people like that, you know, and I think that's what makes this song pretty special to me, and hopefully special to a lot of other people, is that I think we all know somebody that we can relate to through that song.
Walkabout waters, heading for the Cooper, down the Thompson and the Barcoo.
We've got number 8, Walkabout Waters.
Yeah, so Neville Anderson wrote this song, and of course Neville and his family, you know, they'd come from out around the country, down along the channels and out into the Territory and Western Queensland. I had the idea, the title in my head for a long time, and I thought, well, Neville knows that country and those situations, so I pass it to him to write.
Oh, wow.
And I think he painted a beautiful picture of those monsoon waters coming down along the big three rivers, and the way that it affected, you know, the station people, the country, the wildlife. And he did an excellent job of painting that picture.
Yeah, he did. I tell you one thing, and this is like the lyric and the performance is great. One part I really liked, Brendan Radford, when we got the oohs and ahs, like all the tribal voices in the background, and we got all the guitar parts, and like you could feel the bloody birds leaving the water, you know.
You could, you know.
It was really good.
It was just, it painted a mystic sundown scene, and like you say, the birds leaving the waters. And
that's a Golden Guitar nominated track too.
It was.
Last year.
Yes, and 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the finals of the Bush Ballad, and yeah.
Wonderful.
So it's always a pleasure to be in those finals.
It is, yeah.
Rawbelle is calling, she beckons me back to where my spirit's free.
We got number 9, Rawbelle.
Rawbelle, yeah, written about a well-known pastoral property up around the Monto Billawheeler area. And I know when we were on our Bowen Fells property over the years, we had different steers that we bought from Rawbelle. When a fella called Steve Hadley had been writing this and sent it to me and said, how can we go about, you know, turning this into a song? So I sat down and contributed to it, and it became a co-write, and I put the tune to it, and it's actually one of my favourite songs on the album, because I guess I've got that personal connection with it as well, you know.
Yeah.
And those are always special tracks. Yeah.
That's really great, mate. We're talking Bush Troubadour, Dean Perrett's album, and it's going really well for you too, mate, which is great to see. Your fans are loving it, and you're bringing in new fans, and like you said, it's a crossover too, where it's young ones are loving it, and it's going across all genres, and that's what I like about the new ballads and the new Australian stories. You know, it's not just for older people, you know, like people think it is. Yeah. Young ones are getting into it, and it's really great.
Well, it's about life and work that a lot of those young people are in amongst, and it's good to see their sense of story and sense of heritage, you know.
It is, mate.
A saviour to the bush folk in their desperate hour of need. Reverend Flynn came flying at God's speed.
10, Flynn of the Inland.
Yeah, written by Neville Malloy, and I'll give him a little bit of a hand with this one and put a melody to it, and of course about the Reverend John Flynn and how he contributed to Australia, you know, and the outback by bringing that flying medical service, and because back before he got that up and in the air, it was always a pretty rugged go, like, you know, those bush people, you know, it was, you were always taking your chances, and I think, you know, the speed that the flying doctors can arrive at to attend to people that have had an accident is just, it's amazing, really, you know.
Yeah.
And I always use this story too. I remember back in the, and this is a good analogy of why we need the Raw Flying Doctor Service, thanks to John Flynn. My great-grandfather was on a property by the name of Pony Hills, back out around Injune, near Roma in Queensland, and this was back in the 1890s, and he had a really bad toothache, and he had this big hollow tooth, and it was driving him crazy, and of course he rode into Roma to try to go to the dentist. The dentist was out of town. The dentist had travelled from Roma back to Dalby, so he wasn't in town, and Alban Perrett was his name, my great-grandfather, and he thought, oh, now what'll I do? Anyway, he went home and he broke all the wax heads off some matches, packed up this hollow tooth, and then lit the matches and burnt the nerve out. And that was the sort of extremes that people had to go to back in those days, because they didn't have the swift medical attention, you know.
Oh, wow.
And
I would not have
yeah.
thought of that.
Oh, I know, I wouldn't be wanting to do it.
Jeez.
But cured his toothache, of course. Once he got over the pain.
I'd be too frightened to say I had a toothache after that. Oh, that's really good. No, that's interesting, mate. And yeah, so that's a bit of a nod to the...
It is, Reverend John Flynn.
It's a big thing in a small town. Change like that don't come around every day.
We're at number 11, a big thing in a small town.
Yes, wrote this one with my mate Paul Ricketts, and that we all know so well now. And Paul's a great young songwriter, and we've been working together doing some shows, and Paul picked some great lead guitar for me too on some of my shows. And so it was special to sit down. I had the idea for this one. It was actually given to me by a young fella from Victoria. I thought, righto, well, I better get to writing it. And I said to Paul, let's try and co-write on this one. And Paul, and as active as he is, the next morning he rings me up and he already had 2 verses and a chorus with the melody. I thought, gee, I'm going to have to write some lines here or I'm going to miss out on contributing. So, so I got stuck in and contributed to it as well. But yeah, and luckily last year it did pick us up a finalist spot in the Gold Guitars, which was great, and won a TSA award for us.
Incredible, that's great.
For Bush Ballad of the Year, so it was, special song.
Great thing too for young Lockie and Paul too, to help them along, mate, like Golden Guitar nomination and sort of like a TSA, and it's quite an incredible thing.
Well, it is, and you think of all the people that write songs in the nation and aspire to get around to recording something, so it's always special to when you can have a song get in a final 5 somewhere.
My word.
Should my fortune lessen, I'll be satisfied possessing one small photograph of you.
Now, number 12, the last one on Dean's latest album, Bush Troubadour, One Small Photograph of You. Fun little track.
The Kevin Shegog classic. And how great's that song, I've always loved that song and the melody of it over the years, and so it was really great to be able to lay this down with all the boys and just have fun with it,
How special was it though, your idea when we were producing it, to flick it over to the great Stewie French and his young fella Sonny, who's just as he's a mighty player himself.
Yeah, that's for sure, and since, especially since we'd set the track up with a sort of a western swingy style feel to it, and they did a harmony guitar to each other on it, and it was great, And
it featured
all the other
Tim
great
Crouch.
playing,
Tim Crouch, the great fiddle player, did 3-way fiddles on it, like swing fiddle, and
he did. Michelle Rose with all his great western swing and steel, and
Brendan Radford,
and
also on the slap bass and the upright was Mike Vidal.
That's right.
Yeah, Dougie Gallagher. It was a fun session, actually, really good.
Sure was, yeah.
And what a fun way to finish the album, Dino. You've got, the great thing about it is you've got Golden Guitar track, you've got Golden Guitar finals, but I don't stress this enough, and I've already said it, I'm going to say it again, harp on, go and buy the physical copy. There really is, you see what goes behind it, all the musicians, Dino's credits, you get the CD, but you get the artwork, you get the whole package. It's all right to download and do all that, do that as well if you want to do it, but buy the hard copy. There is still something about holding the real thing in your hand. It's great to have you here, Dino. I know your album's already successful, mate.
Thank you for a great album production, Wad. You just went above and beyond, and I'm just so proud that I got to record this one with my old mate.
Good on you. Thank you. Go and buy it.
Words painting pictures